Good morning, guys. Yo, yo, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Streamer mode on here. What up, guys? Afternoon. Yep. Paying attention to this right now. It's coming to open. I want to see if we can get a little pump up to, yes, hit this hourly Sibby with this SMT here. I wanted to see us get up into the Sibby and maybe get some kind of move back down. PDL should be in the cards here for obvious reasons. Obviously, the 4-hour swing. We'll go over this in a little bit. 4-hour swing out of the daily Sibby yesterday, and then London, Asia manipulation higher. Should be New York distribution down to at least PDL here, and we'll go from there. It says I'm talking, so I think I know you probably can't hear me, Tom, but I mean, I would say Frank's a good afternoon, so I'm sure it sounds like a you issue. But what I'm watching right here is this is interesting to me. Still, even though we do have the SMT now, look at these hourly bodies on London low. Still, if you have to have one closed below here. But I know one thing to take note of is coming into the New York session. If you have an obvious like an obvious hourly fair value gap here, price will a lot of times like to this like it will Judas into that Civi or Bissy, and then you'll get your 930 Judas into that, and then your actual reversal. So I'm looking for maybe that here, but with ES already tagging it, maybe we don't. I think any kind of swing point down out of here would be something where I might try a trade for before 10 o'clock. But yeah, so right now just watching that. We're not getting any hourly candle bodies that are closing below any mores, right? We have not had anything close below London still, so nothing that I want to short yet. I want to see some kind of return to premium here, unless we just dump because of ES. But I want to see us get up into here and then maybe get some kind of swing point back down and target PDL. I think that's best case here. I do think high of week is in. I do think that, and I think that was pretty obvious. Obviously, this hourly fair value gap up here overnight, and then what did we get? You guys, I've shown you guys hourly double sweep up here on the highs, 5-minute and a 15-minute breaker off of that, which we talked about, right? We wanted Asia London. Obviously, it was a little different last night because the daily did close. The daily did close above, but we did close back. We did hit that Civi and close back back below here. And the big thing for me was we got an hourly swing, that 4-hour swing point up here with that 15-minute breaker. And remember when we had that 4-hour swing point with a 15-minute breaker, it's usually a good sign of a higher time frame turnaround. So that led me to leaning a little more bearish today, which means I was looking for Asia London up to some kind of hourly or 15-minute Civi, and then. You guys see, I was talking about in Tribe Chat last night, and then we get that 4-hour swing from 2 to 6 right here, and then obviously the rest is a history. Caught a little bit of it, but right now, like I said, let's see if we get up into here. There's a breaker up here, caught for 20 points, and then if you looked here, we had the hourly continuation model here, off of 25, and then we also had hourly continuation model off of here. So if you look at this, and then you go back and you look at the 15, you'll see this was the hourly low, but we actually manipulate. You need to go to the 5 to see it. But you see the hourly low was put in here. We open up at 5, manipulate higher, get close to 25, and then we dip back down to that low. So hourly continuation there, but for now we're just chopping here. Just into this hourly range, and we'll see what price wants to do. Like I said, I would not be. Shorts are not entertaining at this level. I do think like I said, PDL should be in the cards here, but it's just a matter of when, which would be what? Yeah, down here would be your Wednesday. So just these two lows down here. Like I said, I do think we're going all the way back down to these lows. Um, whether we get it this week, we need to really get distributing if we're going to get down there this week. But definitely possible. But I do think that's your higher time frame, like weekly draw right now. Why? Because of that weekly chart, right? Weekly chart closed below here, and this. So these relative equals on the weekly are still draws for me, especially this low. But with this low right there, then I think we should push lower. So yeah, let's see if we get up to this hourly civvy. As long as we don't make any kind of breaker. Now, what will deter me from any shorts is if this turns into like a 50-minute breaker to the upside. Then I know we're probably going -4 midnight before we get any kind of short. We could come all the way back up here. If you notice, this down move looks almost identical to this down move. You'll see, basically up to a premium. The last hourly civvy -4 kind of takes us up there too. So I think shorts, this same kind of pattern can come back up here and then have some kind of rejection as well. I don't see us getting up that high, but if we do, I'm still bearish. Until we get up there. So anything off of midnight looks like it could be 50% of the entire swing. A little bit higher than 50% of the entire swing, but is it just the hourly chart right now? It's showing me lack of wanting to displace lower right now. Yeah, and like I said, like Mike said, yeah, we do have hourly sweeps here, but we don't have any kind of bullish 5-minute breaker to the upside. Like there's no breaker inside of here, so any kind of breaker would have to be like another sweep down here, and then close back above like these two candles, and then you can look for a dip into there to then get long, maybe target 50, midnight, all that good stuff. That's the case for a longs here, but still just there's no breaker. Otherwise, we don't have to sweep this low. You would just have to wait for us to close basically over this to get some kind of 5-minute breaker. Which at that point you're already going to 50. But it looks like we're just going back for the lows, and the S&P is going to hold with ES hitting the hourly civvy. Yeah, right there. Which ES was actually pretty damn clean out of there. Look at that. Missed that. Close there, it's probably a nice 5-minute breaker. Yep, sure is. You got a 5-minute unicorn sitting right here with the civvy. This is your unicorn entry right there. Obviously hindsight, but that's what we look for. Damn, I missed that. Missed it. All right. Oh, -4. Well, I know Tom likes this since you've been short already. You were not looking for a pump up. Looks like ES saved you. Yep, 8 a.m. high. Let's see here. Obviously, we'll keep PDL marked out. Because all this makes sense, though. This makes sense. This is everything we talk about every single day. We look for Asia, London to move up, and then usually there's a 4-hour swing, whether it's that 10 to 2 4-hour candle or that 2 to 6 4-hour candle. If you go to the 4-hour, you'll see it was the 2 to 6 today. But the problem, like, there was no. I actually, when I was short, I actually closed. I didn't even see the 50-minute breaker form. So I actually closed. Like, I took my trade just to this low. I ended up here, took it just to this low, and after I closed, I realized, oh my god, there's a 50-minute breaker there. And then we just started displacing down. I had a limit sitting back up here at this breaker, because I would, after a 4-hour swing, I would expect this breaker to hold to send us down. But you see, it just turned into a breakaway gap. Obviously, just continuation. But holy, what is going on here? Yeah, right now we're just still bouncing off of previous day's open, which we know, right, it's gonna be a spot where you're looking for lower time frame retracements, right? It'll just build the right side, which I'm kind of seeing here. So I would expect this 1-minute range to hold. Not that I'm shorting though. I do like. Did we close under? Did the 5-minute close down here? It did not. 5-minute is still not wanting to close below previous hours. You did put in. Well, I guess you will put in. This would be like a. It's not the prettiest breaker. This would be like a 5 minute breaker. Maybe get something out of there. So -4 is at PDL. It's a good sign. It's a good sign. All right. So like when PDL, when -4 lines up with a key level like that, it just gives you that much more of a confluence that's where price wants to go. Let's see if we can get maybe something inside of here. So this is your 5 minute breaker. Maybe we get to like 50% of the swing. No, we just missed it. God, it's a huge range though. Huge, huge, huge range. I would expect this order block here to hold price. But what are 5 minute do? Yeah, 5 minute is still not. We're not getting any 5 minute candles closing below here, but the only problem with this is more of just a regular ICT trade back to a premium, and then you just get short. But problem is, like, I don't want to put a stop way up here. I guess you could just go above a certain candle and just put a small risk on, but I don't think that's bad. It might be the only way to get entered into this if you're looking to take it down. You do get a 1 minute swing for what it's worth. I don't really trade one minute swings though. Fifteen's looking good. So this will just be a 5 minute inside candle. See what we get here on this 15. This 15 closes like this, maybe any kind of retrace, look for something. I also don't think like, man, it's a little like, so you got a 1 minute bearish candle close down here. So now with this 1 minute swing, if I shorted up here, my stops would be like break even, or my stops would be just above this high. Right? You get a 1 minute swing off of 50, off of the consolidation, the order block, whatever you want to call it, up here. I would not want to see price back to this area. What's old ES doing? It's about the same thing. Gold. Gold gave us a nice 4 hour swing up here as well. Also did not. Gold's been moving so like very in sync with the indices lately. Same thing on gold. You got a 15 minute breaker off that 4 hour swing on the highs, but you didn't get any kind of retest of it. Yeah, gold's very in sync with the indices. I don't know if that's necessarily good for the market as a whole, but time we're sitting at 9:42. We don't have any news today, right? Let me look. Yeah, just unemployment. Hey, we got Natty Gas Storage today. Hell yeah. We'll check out Natty here in a second. Well, let's leave that up there because I would still, if I shorted up here, I wouldn't want to see this high go. Let's check a Natty. Cincinnati could be a short off of these highs. It's 4-hour show. 4-hour might close bullish. So the other thing I don't want to short. If the 4 hours bullish and the hourly gives a swing, maybe I don't want to short that. You know, I want my 4 hour and my 1 hour to align. Right. But for me, this is just a 5-minute inside candle here, right? This is still a 5-minute swing bullish. Oops. For this candle. Yeah, we closed right below this low. So just a 5-minute inside candle. It doesn't mean too much to me. Right? I'm judging it by does this 5-minute candle. So yeah, even if you took that 1 minute, you wouldn't have got delivery there. So I just like the wait. But so if this candle closes above, then you're looking at maybe that's you're looking at your retrace, or you're just gonna sit here in this same choppy zone. And get absolutely smoked back and forth. So even when it starts to look clean at 9:30, you're still better off waiting for 10 o'clock. So anybody that was chasing down here is now in serious drawdown or accounts blown now. Unless you shorted obviously here and then you're just praying right now, but I would not want to be in any anymore. Especially if this 5-minute candle closes bullish, which it just did. So now you're looking for price to at least take out this 5-minute high. You're just praying? Oh no. No, you're not, KC. Stop. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. Oh no, that's exactly why I said it. I mean, I've been there. I'm too stubborn to cut a loss, and I'm just like, it could still go, and then you're just slowly bleeding out, slowly but surely. Did ES take that high? Oh, that explains it. Okay, so ES takes that high. So, yeah, that high right there. Well, the praying might have worked. The praying might have worked here. Okay. Very bearish that we didn't even get up and take that high, but I guess that's because the SMT. All right, let's check out what our hourly. So what I want to see is potentially what I'm looking at now would be a. I don't really care about this low. I'm hoping this low actually gives us the retrace for like a 10 a.m. continuation model. Sweep this low and maybe get a move back up to pray this hourly. Let's go back to praying. This 10 o'clock can close bearish and we can get some kind of continuation model off of 50, off of 25, and then we can target PDL -4. That seems like the easy play so far. Assuming this hourly closes below. If it closes back up inside, then I'm gonna be sidelined unless we get because at that point. You're either looking for a 5-minute breaker to then go up and actually hit that hourly civvy, or you're just gonna sit here and chop and we're gonna have one of those 10 o'clock hours where we just do what we did here, right? We just chop for an hour, and then 11 o'clock will give us the move. So either way, I said we'll wait. Let's see what that hourly candle does at 10 o'clock. There's no FOMO here. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't feel anything here. It's not, everyone's probably like, oh, I'm itching to get in short. I know it's going down, but it's like, in terms of the way that I like to read price and read the candles, it's not ready yet. It's not ready yet until this hourly or the 5 minutes closing below the previous hour low. Then I can say, okay, now it should be ready. But for now, we're just putting in hourly swings after hourly swings, not giving any kind of close beneath. Obviously, we have 12 minutes yet. Anything, we can. Hopefully, we close down here, and then we can just fade and then we can just fade a retrace with a little OHLC. So, yep, that they do A-trade. So it's definitely possible. Yep, I used to do the same, Casey. 9:30 10, unless it's like super obvious. You know, if it's super obvious, but to me, like I still don't like I know like 9:30 is open. 9:30 to 10 is a lot different than you know 1:30 to 2 at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. But it still goes against like you're still taking a trade at 9:30 or at 30 after at 30 after the hour. So that's just the way I look at it and the way that keeps me like I don't have to chew a trade this. I know there's going to be not 50. There's going to be a good setup somewhere. It's usually going to be after 10 o'clock. And then I know I'm in line with the good thing about waiting for 10 is you're then in line with the hourly and the 4 hour. If I take a loss and I'm taking a trade where the hourly and the 4 hour are both in line, telling me this is going to happen, and I take a loss, then that's a great loss, and then that's a loss I'll gladly take on the chin every single day because I know in the long term, if I'm trading along with the hourly and the 4 hour, that I'm gonna be perfectly okay, assuming discipline and all that good stuff is on point, of course. I just don't, it's just a patience thing. It lets everything speak out. Like pretty much for London as well. For London, I usually wait for that 3 o'clock. You know, usually the first hour of London. Then at three, like if you go back test London and look at 3 a.m. You'll see that's about when most of your reversals happen. I'm not just saying it because that was today. If you go back and look at it, it is because why 3 a.m. Because if you're thinking about it in terms of 4 hour OHLC, the first hour of your 4 hour candle should be what? Manipulation. It's building that 4 hour wick, right? So think of it that way, and then 3 o'clock is then ready to do its distribution. Yes, did make a 5 minute breaker to the upside. It did. Kind of ugly, but it's there. This is an ugly breaker. I would go with this breaker just because it's the higher candle of this series. This one would be like this one looks a lot cleaner. This still looks like nothing that this is a breaker CISD to the upside. Still just looks like we're inside chop, but like I would be leaning a little more bullish here because of that getting put in. Doesn't mean I'm taking it. I'm just gonna wait. Does 10 o'clock tell me that we're gonna push up to the hourly BISI, or does 10 o'clock tell me that we're going to push down right now to a PDL? Because remember, there's a possibility where this hourly closes bullish, gives us a 5 minute CISD, and kind of what I just went over with a London, our first hour of our 4 hour candle pushes up to maybe the 4 hour SIBI or the hourly SIBI up here, puts in your 4 hour wick, and then guess what? 11 o'clock. 11 to 2 should be right around the time for your 4 hour distribution back to PDL. Does that make sense? It's just using time. Like the first hour for every 4 hours, just like the first 15 minutes of your hourly candle, we look for manipulation. The first hour of your 4 hour candle. Now it's not always going to be a perfect. Sometimes the manipulation that's where context comes into account as well. Like you're not always going to be it's 11 o'clock. It's time to reverse. And it's like you could have that reversal at 10:15, and then it's part of your hourly, and then it just depends what and aligning it with that with a higher time frame PDA rate and forming that reversal with context with like a body close and then your breaker to the other side here. This looks pretty good. I believe the hourly SIBI sits here, this side, which makes sense. That's where the SMT sits. I like this though because lead PDL, yes, did take this low, so that explains why we're getting a little pump here too. And then we'll look. But I don't. This isn't a trade like I want to take. Right? There's not even a good breaker here. You could take a CISD, but do you really want to take a trade that looks something like candle closes here and looks something like this, and you're just going for that here? I guess if you're going for midnight -4 maybe, but We shall see. Yeah, that's another good point, Sway. We might get a 4-hour swing here. 4-hour swing here could take us all the way back up. I mean, that could mean that we actually want to get up to midnight and the higher uh, the midnight. Sorry, midnight 50, all the 50% of this entire range. I like the order block that sits here with it though too. But I mean, it looks like I said, it looks like last night we could come all the way back up to the breaker. Like any kind of hourly swing out of here, I'm okay. Any kind of hourly swing, 15-minute swing out of these civvies up here, maybe -4, which also lines up with that civvy. Anything out of here, I'd still be okay looking for a short. Now you're probably like, well, we have a 4-hour bullish swing and we have an hourly bullish swing. Why do you want a short? Well, if I'm looking for a short, I'm still like all I'm looking for, if this thing closes bullish, my low hanging fruit is still just this. So as long as we hit this, just because this thing closes bullish, just doesn't mean I'm bullish for the entire hour, right? I'm still looking for price to, at least take out this high. If we take this high and get some kind of swing point down, and I think we have a good draw lower, then I can look for a short. I do not want to take a short if this thing closes bullish, if this high is not taken. After we take this high and then there's some kind of breaker structure down, a breaker, then I'm okay looking saying okay, now let's. But if this high is still open and then we start getting a reversal, then I'm not about it. That's where just context comes into it. Did I get back into a short yesterday when you got stopped? Yes, I did. It was, I think I put it on X, so you guys know I'm not just saying I got in. But basically, yeah, I got stopped, and then this new breaker formed right here. So there wasn't an hourly swing here, but there was the SMT, and then this was the breaker short. Closed below, and then I think I just kind of marked it in here, and then just went for that. This was the hourly busy down here, and then these lows. But we knew we were going down, right? We caught some of that short, where we took out the low, but then we just got stopped because our TP was just a little bit high. But what a pump! All right, so it goes the hourly civvy. We're only at 956 too. Cool. This could line up with something for 10 o'clock. We'll see. See how yesterday we were talking. This is identical to yesterday. Yesterday we were talking about 10 o'clock closing below here, looking for continuation model down, and then it reversed on us, and now look at us. We're potentially talking about a continuation model. Back long here. I really would like to see this, to have any more bullishness here. I would like to see this close up inside of here. That would tell me probably midnight -4 are then good targets. See how like came on stream and we're like, look at these candle bodies on a London. They're speaking to you. Yeah, you get swept out a bunch here, but you didn't have any. The key with all these, yeah, you see all these 4-hour swings. You're like, well, why didn't they deliver? There was no good There was no good 5-minute breaker. No clean 5-minute breaker to tell you to get long. 10 a.m. So yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say, Sweaty. So we'll see. So what I'll be watching for here is it is good stuff, Sweaty. I like to hear that. It means you are paying attention and you're learning. Not sweaty, spicy. You guys got to change it up. Sweaty, spicy. Too many S's, man. Come on. But what could be in the cards here is we'll see what 10 o'clock does. Does 10 o'clock open and rip us up to midnight -4, and then like 10:15 we're getting like a 15-minute swing candle back down? If so, then I'm okay trying that short. Now if 10 o'clock opens and dips down here to 25 and 50, and then it's 10 like 10:15 and we're bouncing off of the 25 or 50, and then going higher. Then I'm expecting. It all depends. What do we do? Just like we do with London and then Asia, right? Where did Asia and London spend most of its time? Above or below that daily open, and then I'm expecting the opposite. Most of the time, obviously it depends on context, but most of the time I'm expecting New York to do the opposite. So if 10 o'clock opens here in about a minute, and we dip first, looks like we're going 25, 50, and then we start like grinding up slowly, then I'm expecting just 10 o'clock to be like a slow grind up to 50, midnight, -4, and then maybe 11 o'clock will be like a sweep, a close back inside at 11, and then you're set up with still 4 hour distribution back down. Now if 10 o'clock opens and shoots right to the high, and we start, making a breaker back down, then I can say, okay, my 10 o'clock high got swept, and now I'm breaking structure back to the downside off of midnight, off of -4. That's an okay short too, because at least your hourly high is taken care of, but you're still expecting PDL based off of the 4 hour down here. This is all right. What if we get might get it looks like we might get an inside candle here. Which remember, even if we get an inside candle, this is kind of I guess not. I think it's not like yesterday's close, but I don't like for the bulls. I don't like that we did not close inside this city. Remember, whatever happens last is usually what I tend to fade the direction. Looks like we closed just above it. All right, just above it. And so I will fib this out. That close doesn't give me a ton of confidence here, but we'll see how our 25 and 50s line up here. Previous day equilibrium, that makes sense. All right. Yeah, I guess that makes, yeah, because we'd be down here. Hit that, and we still close below. Makes it, yeah. So it is just like it is like yesterday's daily candle, where we hit the daily civvy, closed below, but we closed above here. So it's like it's to me it's 50-50 here. To me it's 50-50 here. But if I'm looking for a longs, I like that we just opened up here and instantly dipped. So we'll see. Maybe we get down to 50. Remember, if I'm looking for a longs, I want to see price respect around the open of that hourly candle. The only thing I could see long here, which I don't even think any of this is like an A+ setup here, would be maybe if you got a sweep of this 5-minute candle off of 50, which we don't have to hit 50. Remember, these 25 and 50s are not necessarily draws where price has to go to. ES closed inside too, so that's even more like 50-50 because of that correlation too. So the 4 hour close, super bullish. So I would think we should at least push to the 4 hour high. That would make sense to me, and then maybe we get something out of that 4 hour civvy. Maybe you get like an hourly swing. Maybe the 10 o'clock turns into so the 4 hour civvy sits at 920. Yeah, so basically this high. We'll see what happens. Otherwise, if this thing wants to keep on pumping, maybe we hit up here, and then 11 o'clock still closes back in this range, and then that's your hourly swing. There's like I said, I'm just like talking through every single possibility here. Like I said, I'm okay either way here, but if this thing wants to, go up here, and then maybe before we hit -4, we hit midnight, we hit this civvy, whatever we want to do. There's the breaker also that's this is your hourly breaker sitting there. But if we go up there and hit that, and then 11 o'clock closes back inside of here, guess what? You have the hourly swing. You have your hourly swing point here, and inside of this move down is likely a 5-minute breaker on this side that you can then look for. 11 o'clock opens, manipulation up to the breaker. That's your short entry, and then you can target the lows and PDL. That's something that's definitely in the cards here. And then what also goes in line with this, your 4 hour power of 3, right? You have your manipulation higher, puts in your 4 hour wick back up, and then this whole range is rebalanced, 50% up to a premium, and then you have 4 hour distribution back down. Totally in the cards here. There was that 4 hour high, basically just based off of that high and what your 4 hour candle. Really no good entry, right? There's just nothing, just straight pump there, unless you're a soup master and you soup that for some reason. So it looks like we should get up to -4 because we're about to trigger it. Is midnight the trigger? No, it's not. Okay. 76.75 would put me at 61.75. There we go. So maybe looks like we missed midnight. Yeah, we missed it by a tick. So maybe a tap of midnight, the trigger gives us some kind of retrace. And then maybe we get a move down to like this 1 minute order block inside of here maybe. And you can look for some kind of long setup out of there. Oh, I see midnight, doggo. I see it. Don't you worry. Nice, Hayes. Nice. Man, it's doing what it did yesterday. It's giving us the dip before we trigger. Right. I want to see this balance. This balance. I would like to see this range kept like unbalanced, so that way if we trigger, it gives me a nice spot where I can look for a long setup back to a -4. But interesting, it's only 10:05 and we've already swept previous hour high. What did the 5 minute do? The 5 minute closed? Yeah, 5 minute closed over previous hour high. Did ES close over previous hour high as well? It did not. So again, a little more uncorrelation. Why is that indicator not on today? There we go. There's the alert for ES not closing. London high? I don't think we go London high. I personally don't. Simply because of the 4 hour swing the 4 hour swing we put up here with this 15-minute breaker tells me London high should be safe. If we go to London high, then obviously I'm completely wrong, and obviously high of week is if we go to London high, we're going all the way back up to a new week high. My personal opinion. I'm not seeing that strength out of ES. It could be, yeah. We'll see. We'll see. I don't like that. I just don't like that we just missed midnight by a tick and -4s right there. So what best case here? I'm still okay looking for a short. I would like to see us get one more sweep and maybe this turns into our into a breaker. ES hit midnight. Okay. Makes sense because ES loves midnight. ES midnight's like almost. I'd say it's better than ES's than NQ's. Yeah, so ES just missed -4 too. I've seen this way too many times. We get that close to -4 midnight. Any kind of short you think is going to happen here, you're going to get wrecked, and we'll be back. And then maybe the short happens. Maybe this turns into a breaker. That would be like best case here. Like. Yeah, so anything, so you would have a nice 1 minute breaker here potentially, because time is still on the side, is still on your side for this to be, 10 o'clock, to be for this to be your 10 o'clock wick, and then this be your manipulation and then lower, even if we take a new high. Maybe we don't, but I think we do. Me personally, seeing the 5 minute close over like that, I want to see some kind of I want to see some kind of target hit. If I see the 5 minute closing above here, because I'm still looking for this high to be hit, which would also take me back to midnight. I mean, maybe Mike. But, I mean, for right now, it just seems like we're setting up. It seems like we're setting up some kind of manipulation here to then have continuation. I will say, you do have a 4 hour swing, and you're gonna have you do have a 50-minute breaker the other way now. But is that just to take us back to this range in 50 midnight? We'll see. Yes, it's dumping. ES actually made a 30-second breaker off its 5 minute swing. So it had a 5 minute swing, previous hour high. Obviously, hindsight, nothing I'll take just because of ES or the strength of NQ here and NQ being so close. But if you look on ES, that's your 5 minute swing, your 30-second breaker. I would say this is a better breaker, but this is still a breaker. But it's where you're like, you have a little uncorrelation. But yep, sure did, H-Rays, it sure did. You seen it. I'm good. It's good. It's good. It's good. I mean, don't let me saying that I want to see higher stop you guys. If you think if you want to take that short on ES, I'm more than happy to see that you guys are seeing it. That's the important part to me. Nice. I'm not sure if Trump's speaking or not. I haven't seen anything. I know we have a Fed member speaking, but. So like if you're taking this short on ES, you just need to be aware of NQ. You're looking to get in here. Your stop. I mean, you can refine your stop if you want to, or you can do like what I do. You know, I'm trying or where I'm looking to get short. Well, we already hit it, right? It's the 5 minute swing. I would look to get short at the open. Remember, we know this is a very sensitive area, right where that candle opens or closes, right where the wick begins of that swing candle. But you could wait for there. And then, but obviously, you're going to target. You're going for the lows on any kind of 10 o'clock reversal up here. So if we get another 1 minute breaker, so I would like to see us sweep the high one more time. I'd like to see us sweep the high one more time, just because I think we hit 50 though, right? We hit 50. We hit previous day equilibrium. We definitely hit 50 of this swing. That's where price is actually looking down for. So like if we go up and take this high, and then like there's a breaker in here, that's a short I'll still take because I still got time on my side. It's still 10, 11, but I mean we might just go now, and if we do, then it's unfortunate, but it still just goes against everything. I have no 5 minute confirmation. I always take a trade with 5 minute confirmation. Right now, my 5 minute confirmation is saying that we should take this high. Until, let me get rid of this for now. There we go. Until we close back below the last outside candle on the 5 minute, so we'd have to go down here. Whether we sweep it or close below it, I'm still looking for price to get up to this high. Until proven otherwise. So for me, I personally cannot take a short until either this candle closes below. Not saying I'm short. I'm marketing in as soon as we close below. But if I see a candle below, then I'm like, okay, now I'm on the side of the 5 minute, and price is telling me that it wants to push lower. Now if we go up here and sweep this high, close back inside, and then we have a 1 minute breaker, then yes, to me that's a great short. Because now we've taken our 4 hour high, which we expect. We're out of a 4 hour civvy. We've taken our 4 hour high. And what was I gonna say? I forget what I was gonna say. And then we've taken the 5 minute high. So like the 4 hour and the 1 hour high is now swept. So I'm okay looking for shorts because I still think PDL is in the cards here. Just unfortunate that this wasn't a sweep. This was a sweep candle to go with ES. Then, so if this candle didn't close above the previous here, then I'm okay. Like if this turns into if this would turn into a breaker, then I'm all for it. But for me, I personally don't have the context. At least for NQ, if I'm trading ES, I have the context, right? I have the I pretty much got it's basically a candle body SMT where ES did not close above, but NQ did. I would prefer them both to show me the same thing here. But just remember, remember in terms of the daily here though, like if you're like looking for higher or and whatnot. Right now, all we're bouncing off of the on the lows is literally just yesterday's open. That's where we're holding right now, and the SMT with ES. But what still think back? What did Asia and London do? If you're still bearish on the weekly like me because of that weekly bearish close 2 weeks ago, because the last week was just an inside candle. What am I expecting? Right now, I have context for a Wednesday high of week profile. And what did Asia and London do? Asia and London did what I expected. I expected up to some kind of hourly or 15-minute SIBI in a premium manipulation, and then I got my swing point back down. So at this point, like that's why like I'm like okay, I think London high is safe. I think high of week is a safe. Just based off of that, my weekly is bearish. My daily profile on Thursday lines up with continuation shorts as well. Obviously, if I go up here, then I can switch by and say okay, I was wrong. Um, but until then, it's just basically you're looking at and you're taking advantage of and aligning yourself with the daily candle. You're just and in terms of if this daily candle was an hourly candle, it's the same thing. I know I'll repeat myself over and over again, but if this is your hourly candle, you open up, you manipulate up to some kind of SIBI, boom, back down you go. Let's see. A daily breaker at the low. Not that I see. The only daily breaker I see would be over here. Or are you talking more left? If you're talking more left over here, then there's this if you go to NQ1, this looks like it could be a breaker. But so if we get an M1 breaker here, would you take it short? Oh no, that was US at a minute ago. Sorry. Tuesday took liquidity. Yeah, but remember your breaker needs to be a bullish candle. A bullish breaker needs to be a bullish candle. Not like this. This is a daily breaker. I would say, or yeah. You swept the low, swept the high, and then you close back inside. But look what we're getting here. Look what we're getting here. This is why I don't fade it. That's why I don't fade the 5-minute. That's why I don't fade, especially when midnight and -4 sit just above. But timing's kind of getting away here now. It's already 10:17. Kind of what we talked about yesterday, right? Where it's already 10:17, 10:20, then 10:30. How much distribution are you really going to get? We'll see if this. We'll see what kind of displacement we get if any down off of a -4 at midnight. Let me turn that stuff back on though. Yeah, that's what it's starting to look like, Mike, for sure. It's starting to look like we just might have a 10 o'clock hourly chop where we could chop here, and then 11 o'clock sweeps 10 o'clock high, and then we get a and then we get a 5 minute sweep back down. Absolutely possible here. We'll see how this candle closes. Right now, just don't get chopped up. Do not get chopped up inside of this, unless you're short the ES play still. Which, if you're short ES play, your eyes should be on this 5 minute candle right now. You want to see this turn into a breaker. That turned into a breaker. You should be smooth sailing. You don't want to see this not make one. But I don't think I'll be entering any kind of new positions here though. Oh, yes, did, yeah. Yeah, close over 950 would just say probably continuation for sure. Yep, completely agree. Remember, you're also slowing down at this order block, basically 50% of London. Remember, that's the other big level to watch, which I think was where we're tapping. Yeah, 50% of London. Remember, 50% of London is a big area for rejection when you're going to have a continuation. Forgot to mention that. And you'll see a lot of times New York open 9:30, rip up, hit 50% of London, and then just have, and then your trend will continue. So that's like a spot where also look for like any kind of swing point off of that. Right now we're sitting with 4 inside candles now on the 5 minute, and look what's going on. You're just getting chopped up in here. Hopefully that's nobody here, unless you're obviously in on the ES play. Then you have context. But for now, this is not a candle that I'm looking for the low to get taken, because I'm still looking at this high and this low. Let me turn this on. There we go. What up, Discipline? Good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Kind of losing any and all volatility now. But we're already at 10:20, so it's almost looking like a potential 11 o'clock move. But hopefully not. And if so, then that's okay. We're not in a rush here. We get paid to be patient. While we're waiting, let's check out NG. NG looks like it's just having a little continuation on. So that's the 4 hour. 1 hour already swept those lows. NG's bullish if it gives you a 5 minute breaker up here. I should take you back to the high. That would confirm the hourly swing that it's currently making. Brutal. All right, gold. Anything good on gold? How did gold hourly close? Bullish. It did not sweep previous hour high, so gold. This should be your easy target off of 25. Is there like a 30-second breaker down on there off of it? not really. I guess this would be the breaker. So I guess you got it there. Pretty ugly, but still a nice, a little breaker off of 25. Should send gold up higher. I don't long that, but best bets NQ, yes, it seems. Wow. Of course, London gives this beautiful move, and then New York just chops everybody up. Hopefully not, but you still in that short time. Oh, dang. Yeah. Yeah, so so I took that trade up here. I broke my rules this morning in London because I woke up like right at 2 o'clock London time, and I seen this. I just seen this 5 minute swing here, and I just got in. I didn't look for a 30-second breaker or anything, and it really wasn't a good 30. I just messed that up. There wasn't a good 30-second breaker, so I actually took a loss there. Because we ended up running back higher. Sorry, I didn't take that swing. I took this swing right here. I seen that, and I just they gave me a little something down, and then it came up, and it obviously stopped me out. And then I seen it again, and then I seen the hourly form, that double sweep that I showed you up there. Because I was expecting rejection out of there, but so kind of broke my rules this morning. Right? I'm not perfect. It happens. But yeah, so I took a loss there, but then caught. I caught the second 5 second swing because then the more I was looking at it, I'm like, okay, now I have a 15-minute swing on my side, which there's a nice 1 minute breaker inside of this wick. If you go back and look on the 15 there, and then if you look at there's a 30-minute swing as well, rejection with inside of that wick. I'm sure there was a 3-minute breaker as well, but. Pretty much, those are the setups that we're looking for. Off those higher time frame PD arrays, and then looking for that good distribution. Not anything like just getting chopped up inside of here. Yeah, there's a breaker here. It's pretty damn ugly. Just blah. Yeah. I take losses. I try to share my losses. Especially when you're trying to trade reversals, you're gonna have some losses. But the good thing with this is your stop's usually pretty damn small, and when you catch a reversal, you catch big moves like this, to where you can only be right. You can be right 40% of the time, and you should still be a profitable, assuming your psychology's on point, of course. Sure is, doggo. It sure is. We're probably gonna, like I said, it's already 10:30. I don't see us doing much until 11 o'clock now. I'm gonna take a look. We have got tornado warnings. Hell yeah. Alright. Well guys, not much not much to go over here. We're working on our 5th straight inside candle here on the 5-minute. We've not taken the high or low of that first 10 o'clock candle. The 15 gave us a swing actually. 15 gave us a swing down, and it gave us it's not giving us away a 1-minute breaker though. You need to see the 15-minute close below here. realistically, your best trades are going to be when you have the 5-15 minute aligning, and then even better if you have the hourly and the 30 minute to go with it. But I'm just glad I'm not in this. This looks like an emotional trade. If unless you're in from the highs, of course, then this is just annoying to you. It looks like it. That's what you want to see. If you are short, you do want to see this thing just plow through that 10 o'clock open before 10:30. Remember, I'm still watching this low and this high. Everything else inside here is just noise to me. Nice, Marshall, nice. Don't do it again. That's the thing. Sometimes you get paid. Sometimes it works out in your favor, and then the other 95% of the time it absolutely wrecks you. Today was your day. It's a pretty big range, though. I didn't realize it's almost 80 points from the highs to the lows here. From the highs to the lows, where you're already at a 100-point range just for this 5 minute candle. So now I'm just be watching. Do we sweep this 5 minute low and then close back up inside of here, or do we just close back up inside of this candle and then just mean we probably go like 50% of this candle then, and then the chop continues. Yep, that's exactly what's going on, Doggo. You should take that megaphone and just yell 80-20. We're not even getting any 80-20s here. You got like a 30-second unicorn here and now. Again, nothing I'm taking. We'll see if it works. Doesn't it feel good to have discipline, to sit on your hands and not get chopped up in this bull crap? Doesn't it feel good? It's kind of anticipated. We kind of anticipated this. Like, you just any other time, like a year ago, 2 years ago, I'd be sitting here just, I'd be, I'd be deployed on stream and just be like, I'm trying to force something inside here because I feel like I have to take a trade on stream. I feel like I have to, take something. But now I'm just sitting here. I see 6 inside candles on the 5 minute. And I'm just like, I used to try to get in here. I would go long, and then it would dip here, and I'd get out for my 20-point loss, and then I would go short, and then I would take, and then it would pump 20 points, and then I'd take another loss. The growth, the growth, the growth. So if you're still on your hands, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. like that's again why I like to wait for that 5 minutes. Now it's gonna be a really, really, really weird time. It was what 10:33, and then we're back above the open. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I do agree with that, Mike. If you get some kind of CIST here, this could be could be a good spot. Nice momentum here. Nice CISD to at least take you up to a -4. Nothing. Not anything I'll take, but I would expect price to I would expect price to respect to respect this down close candle here. Granted, it's still a candle that's just in chop, but we did sweep it low and close back above it here. Okay, so when we first made this indicator, you're talking about the open here. So if you go to NQ Stats, I think it's nqstats.com. I'm not sure if it's it's obviously not .gov. I think it's .com. There was a dude that did a study. Basically, depending on what time we sweep, basically if we sweep the 9 o'clock high or the 9 o'clock low within like the first 20 minutes, there's like an 70 or 80% chance that we go back and at least tap the open. And then if you sweep the previous hour high or low within the minutes of 20 after or 40 after, there's like it was basically like 50-50 chance that you go back and tap the open, and then it'll go red if it's in the last 40 to 00 or 59. And then so if it's green, it means that we swept the previous hour high or low within the first 20 minutes, and then there's a good chance of us going back to the open. It's like it's like a 75% chance we go back to the open based off of stats and the history. And then if it's yellow, it's about a 50% chance we retest the open. And then if it turns green or red, then there's a low chance that we go back and tap the open. However, our good friend Out of Options did a study on this and found that those stats are kind of misleading. So that's why it changes color. So I don't really use it has to go to the open anymore, because he did stats and found out that basically most of the time we swept it. We would sweep the high, but the open was literally like right here. So the open would be like right here. We would sweep previous hour high, and then the open's right there. So like when that happens, of course your stats are going to be like skewed a little bit to say, oh, of course we're going to go to the open, but you're not going to take a short right here for 3 points, So it kind of skewed the actual results for that study. But yeah, so CISD is in now. Yes, hit the 4-hour breaker. Yep, it sure did. That is. Yeah, yes, didn't have a civvy there on the 4-hour. NQ does. Sheesh. Still be watching. Still be watching this breaker unicorn inside of here. If we come out and test it. Remember, there will be times where we make the breaker or we make the swing, we get a good pump, and then we'll come back and retest the breaker, and then we'll go. And that could just mean it could be what happens here, and we just continue chopping. Or if we put a 30-second breaker back down, then we got to swing down, and guess what? You're confirming that you're just in chop at least until 11 o'clock. Just sit on your hands. I'm not sure then, Tom. I have no idea. Just don't even worry about the colors. You can change it, I think, to turn it off. I believe. Or yeah, you can just change it all to the same color if you want. If it's bothering you, because the colors really don't mean anything anymore. But obviously, still plotting the open is something that you want. Looks like a nice little continuation model off the 5. Obviously, nothing I would take, but cool to see it work off of 25. Yep, that's all. That's all the colors are for. You can check out the website if you want, but like I said, the stats were kind of skewed. I got the tweet too, or options went over all the data, but just don't hold weight to it. Man, we're almost at 1040. 1040 and we've gone nowhere. I mean, we've had, I guess we've had a 100-point range, but it's not much to discuss here. Oh, it happened. Oh, well, Natty Gas Storage came out. Notice how that never made a 5-minute breaker. Again, that's why making that breaker is so important. We talked about this yesterday on stream too. How price will sometimes just wick the high of the breaker, and you must get that close. You have to get that close. I know there's obviously news. It's all that dump is obviously news driven. Otherwise, NG doesn't move like that. But still goes hand in hand with it. All right, we're gonna step away. We'll come back. We'll watch 11 o'clock. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're back. What are we doing? Yeah, okay, we haven't moved. Oh, hopefully it's really 11 o'clock or nothing. Kind of be like yesterday. We'll hang out till 11:10, 11:15, see if we get some kind of sweep on the highs with some kind of move down, or if we're going to close. Obviously, it would come down to how does this thing close as well, and which way do we go at first. But I don't think there's data later today. Don't think so. I mean, we have crude oil. I did see Trump speaks. It says 3 o'clock, but I think that's 3 o'clock Central Time because I'm in Central. I'm not sure. I think that's Central Time. If somebody else can confirm, I guess consumer confidence is hopefully that's 4 o'clock for Trump. Like I keep my computer set to New York time simply because it's I use it for trading, so I always know what New York time is. But it still shows, I believe, Central Time inside the browsers. So probably need to change that somewhere else. But I kind of just keep it. So I'm assuming that that Trump speaks at 4 Eastern. My guess is we're gonna chop here another 15 minutes, and then we'll take this high. It's what you'll see a lot. If we're close to an hourly high or a low, we usually don't put in a new high or low in the last 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and it's usually because they're saving it for that new hour. I don't blame you, Hayes. I don't blame you. But take care. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see whenever the next stream is. I don't know if there will be a stream tomorrow or not since I streamed today. Thought about doing the the OGs here are gonna laugh, but I'm thinking about doing a London might do a London stream next week. As long as the 10 o'clock to 2 hour to 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. candle is not an inside candle on the 4 hour, then I'm looking to a trade. But yeah, I'll be awake. I get up for every I it's probably not the most healthy thing, but I do get up for I do get up and check that 2 o'clock in a 3 a.m. candle for London. Wizard and I do every single day. Let me hop on because Wizard has his own little he has a little 3 a.m. A 3 a.m. model that he's doing pretty well with. So it's not April 1st, no. But I mean, I'm usually up every single time, so why not run a stream one day? Not this week because I'm actually working on bass. I worked all night on bass last night, and we're streaming here, going to bed after this, and then doing the same thing tonight and tomorrow night. So don't want to get burnt out either. Maybe next week we'll you can laugh all you want, Sweaty. London's been so clean, especially if you can frame. As long as you have a clean daily profile and like what you're expecting, you have a clear daily close below, so that you're expecting manipulation up, and there's a clear, civvy like we had last night. That's when London's good. It really depends what your daily candle is. Wizard's his little London play is basically just a zone. It's a Dave zone. He just looks at whatever zone is going on at a 3 o'clock at 3 a.m. And basically with how often we watch 3 a.m. and like know that it's either going to be like either reversal or if 3 a.m. stays bullish, you're likely to have a continuation. He'll just like if for the bullish Dave zone, he'll just get in and take it to the high, and that's his 10 or 20 points, and he calls it a day. And then the only thing else he trades is a -4 in New York. He does not touch New York. Only that London 3 a.m. play and a -4. And dude's racking in payouts, still working a full time job. So this goes to show you ain't got to be here and try to take 50 trades a day. He's had the same accounts for like 4 or 5 months now. But he just takes slow grind. It's like $500 a day, and locks it up. All right, come on, IQ. Like I said, we're probably gonna have to wait here until 10 o'clock. Until 11 o'clock takes 10 o'clock high. Sorry. And then yeah. Brutal. It sure is, Marshall. It sure is. Oh, Wizard's in here. Look at him. Lurking. Lurking like some other people we know. Inside joke. Alright. Oh, what's Gold doing? Gold's ended up taking that high. Gold had a nice continuation play there. It did. I just didn't see it. So that 30-second breaker. I mean, what did we? Yeah, we made the breaker here. Your stop would have had to go to this low. The breaker would have worked off of the 30 off the 25. But honestly, it would have been I think a negative R trade because you would have looked to get in at the breaker. Your stop would have had to go to the slow. Yeah, it looks like a negative R trade. So yeah, that's an ugly. Yeah, it's not so pretty. Good to see that the continuation model worked there though. What else we got? Nothing. Anybody take any trades inside of here? Is anybody still on the ES short? ES is still weak as hell. Oh, never mind. That was a 4-hour chart, but still looks here. You're still in 8 trades. All right. We're praying for you. Praying for you. Maybe you get 11. Maybe you get a 10 o'clock where NQ sweeps the high, and that's your SMT, and ES doesn't take it doesn't take this high, and it saves you. It saves a short. Possible. All right. What do we got? 10 minutes still. 10 minutes. So what are we looking for is basically, I like to call it Model 5-1. This Model 5-1 is just basically the 5 minute sweeps the higher or low the previous hour, closes inside. You look for a 30-second breaker to take short down to 50% of the previous hour candle, and what we can maybe use for an entry here if we take -4. So what we need to see is this is going to be likely our 10 o'clock high. I need to see Model 5-1 would be we sweep this high, and then you put in a body down here. So you want to see us close back inside the range here, and then you can look for a 30-second breaker inside of this candle to then get short targeting. 50% of the 10 o'clock range is going to be very, very, very small. Like we're like here, we're at 50. We're below 50 now. But in a normal case with a you would look for like 50%, but obviously this range is kind of compact here. But we can use that still for like an entry for like a bigger targeting 9 a.m. low, previous day low. Nice 8 trades, nice. Dude. If somewhere somebody keeps flipping positions and just getting absolutely smoked here. Makes sense though. London gave us a nice move, so it makes sense to have a little consolidation. I said hopefully this is just it's looking hopefully like some AMD where you just have your accumulation, your manipulation up to 50, maybe -4. Not looking likely now, and then down, but we'll see. We've seen it dip all the way down here, and then go all the way back up too. So let's see what 11 o'clock gives us. I think when Hildago is talking about 80s, he's talking about he's not talking about 80%. He's talking about 80 like over here. It's pretty bad, Dart. Yeah, it's pretty bad. Yeah, not the 80 fib. No, he's Hildago has his own trading style where he basically takes a 5 minute scalp off of like 980 or 880 or 780 and looks for a 5 points down back down to a 75. That's just how he scalps and trades the market. But he gets massive payouts, so it works for him. But He's got his own system. Don't take every trade. Don't take every 80 and just go for a 5 points. He takes it with based on certain levels and stuff. So you do need to start waking up for London. It was clean tonight. It was clean last night. Last night, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yeah. So Doggo's still in here. He is still in here. He's hanging out. But like he'll take like an 80 or something like when it lines up with a fair value gap, or like an 80 lines up close to midnight. You know, something or like an order block where price should have some kind of a resistance. But 2 minute at 10:06. 2 minute inverse. Is that what you're talking about? I'm trying to think what you're talking about. Or you're talking about a breaker. I'm not sure if you're talking about Springfield. You might have said that a while ago too. I missed the YouTube comment. Oh yeah, I definitely will, Tian. There will be an announcement. All right, so we've got 5 minutes yet. This feels like a drag today. Sitting here just watching chop. Probably next week. Yeah, next week one day, because London's been so good. London's given such good plays lately. What was yesterday? Yeah, the reversal wasn't until yesterday. But yeah, if you get any kind of like 4-hour swing, 10 to 2 or 2 to 6, it's usually dynamite. Usually dynamite, or even like continuation play. But still like to see this high swept at 10, at 11 o'clock here. Remember I've seen some bad like instances where I'm literally only watching this 5 minute outside candle, which we do have the S&P on the low of it with the ES here, but I'm still watching like all this just inside candles that I'm not associated with. I still hold a 5 minute bias because if this candle closed above with this open high, so until I see like this candle close down below, then I can switch bias on my 5 minute. But as of now, like my rules won't they will not allow me to short because of this 5 minute. Even with the ES body close SMT. I mean you have like a 1 minute breaker down here. This is like a 1 minute unicorn, if you want to call it that. It's just a unicorn inside a chop, but I guess this did work out to where, so we had this 5 minute bullish candle here. Remember we talked about this. Obviously we're sitting in chop, not a trade that I would ever take. But you know, we had a 5 minute swing down here. Obviously this is what you do in chop though. You just go breaker to breaker, SMT to SMT, lower time frame SMT. But we had this move up here that formed basically this 1 minute unicorn here, 1 minute unicorn, 30-second unicorn. If you're actually taking this like for an actual setup based on if we have better context, but this is where you're looking to get long, and you don't really make a breaker to the downside off of the bearish 5 minute swing, but that's what you like look for, like on the higher time frame. You look for a 4 hour to close way above or something, and price will usually come back to it. I don't know if we're going to come back to like up here. This breaker is pretty damn high, but I would love a short from up here. I don't think we're getting up that high though. I think our best case is this high, which takes us to -4 sits right at this 15-minute city. But right now you're just holding 50. You're still respecting 50 of London, and we'll see what. Hopefully we get some volatility here in 2 minutes. So we'll be looking for this high to get swept up into that 15-minute civvy, hit -4, hit midnight, another test of 50, and see if we get a bearish close back inside the 10 o'clock range. If so, and there's a lower time frame breaker, that's a short I am willing to try. And then if I get short, like up here somehow, I'll be watching what will be likely be this. And this would be like obviously, I would want to see price close below here because that would be my 5 minute breaker. Assuming I get up short here and we start dumping, I want to see price close below this here, and then I would have a 5 minute breaker with a potential hourly swing here. We'll see how this hourly candle closes here though. We do have about a minute. But this high won't necessarily be guaranteed if we get this hourly sweep, right? We almost wouldn't expect it. But if we do close inside and we sweep the high, you have the chance of getting the same setup we had up here where we have the hourly double sweep. So if we get like an hourly double sweep, which when 11 o'clock opens, if it takes us high and then we get that 5 minute breaker down, that would confirm that a double sweep's about to happen, and then it's a full port shorts. I'll repeat what, Red? Sorry. What part? Oh, potential trade idea would just be so up into basically the 15 minute SIBI somewhere up here. So we'll be looking for us to sweep 10 o'clock high. Sweep it, close back inside here. I really don't want to see the 5 minute closing above 10 o'clock, because then it's just going to tell me we would potentially end up with choppy. And can we still dump? Yeah. Well, we'll have to see if we have any kind of SMT. Only if there's an SMT, then I wouldn't be so worried about a close. But we'll see what that does. But basically, you're looking for price to get up into -4, reject this 15 minute SIBI, and give us some kind of 5 minute swing back down with a lower time frame, 30-second, 1 minute breaker out of it. So be looking for something like this to happen, right? Up into there, -4 gets hit, we reject -4 the SIBI. There's a lot of confluence there. Our 5 minute candle looks like this, if I know how to draw. And then inside of this wick is likely going to be some kind of like 30-second breaker or something that I can use to get short with a stop at this high, looking forward to the lows. That's the trade idea here. That's best case. Remember, all hour I've stayed with I've stayed with a bullish bias, all because of this. All because of this 5 minute close here. Closing above the 10 o'clock high. Whether this was 10 o'clock high or 11:25 in the 5 minute closes like this. I either got to see this high get swept or we got to close below it before I change my bias on the 5 minute. You're crazy, doggo. I'm sure that was a tough 257 to get to. Can't imagine. Cannot imagine. Yeah, I'm sure. Yep. This is the price that'll get you way down and blown, or way down and somehow you dig out of it. But yeah, you are a dumbass. That you are. No, I'm just kidding. All right, so 11 o'clock opens, and let's see if we get any kind of movement here. It was definitely said with a love. If we were gonna dump, I feel like we would have just did it here, but. How did our hourly close? Hourly closed bullish, so that tells me I don't want to short yet either until this high goes. And if I'm looking for longs, I like that we open up and we're pushing down first. Maybe put in that hourly wick, which might alleviate and nullify the trade idea. But we'll see. There's still a lot of time left. yeah. You could have played this 20 multiple times today and made a bunch of money. These are your conditions actually with your 80/20. I guess just 20 today, but up to 10 a.m. low. Imagine we go to 10 a.m. low and we get that same setup, but bullish. That's something I would entertain too. But basically hitting 50%. If we're gonna bounce, I'd expect it to be around here. Right, you opened up right at about 25%. This is your 10 o'clock hourly candle is contained within the first 5-minute candle. Yeah, so you're just basically sitting right at you're just still floating right at 50. So with the hour one bullish close, can you not short with the H1 sweep, or can you still flip? I can still flip. I just won't short with that hourly close like that. I won't short until until this 10 a.m. high gets swept. Just because every time based on my back testing, most of the time, if you have a bullish close above, you're not always going to. Sometimes you'll have a full on reversal, and that's okay. I just won't catch that move. But a majority of the time, you close over here, you'll at least go to that previous hour high or a low. But yeah, that's just my personal rule. Like it's just because that's how I get a daily bias. So if it's how I get a daily bias, it makes sense for me to use as a 5-minute bias, like I am here. It makes sense to use for an hourly bias. So if you just keep all that the same, it just makes everything that much more simple, which is what we try to keep trading to be. Now, like if this 5-minute candle starts closing below the 9 a.m. low, then maybe I can look for continuation lows, because that's telling me that okay, now price is closing below, and now now maybe we're not coming back up to this. Now there could be a trade opportunity here where I was talking about a sweep and a close up here. If we have 11 o'clock open here, you could have 11 o'clock manipulation down, 10 o'clock low, and then if we're gonna stay choppy, you could have a sweep, a close back inside the range here. There's a little breaker you could try. You can target back up to that 10 a.m. high, because that bullish hourly close -4 at midnight all sitting up there. That could be a low risk trade you would take, because look at what the potential RR would be. And then you're also in line with potential hourly manipulation here, and then potential distribution back up to that 10 a.m. high. It might be an ugly move with how slow this how ugly price is moving, but yeah, you can definitely do that, Casey. We'll see what happens here. It's nice to see we're getting some kind of movement here. We just had to wait for 11. Did you hold that trade? 8 trades? Nice. It's a tough hole. Yeah, it's exactly Casey. So what potentially we can look for is 5-minute sweeps, close inside. This turns into there's a 5-minute close back above, and there's a 30-second 1-minute breaker inside of here. Because you're going for way up here. So I mean, I even if I get stopped here, the RR is absolutely phenomenal. Like these are gonna hit 50% of the time. So if I take a loss here, I really don't care, because I know the next one will hit. And I'm just looking at a stop like this. And I'm looking at probably an 8R trade, 6R trade. Now, obviously, it depends where the breaker is and wind and whatnot, but we'll see. We still been taking that at 10 a.m. low, so. Dang. Yep. If we're still in this, if we're still in this range after 11:15, I'm just walking away. Come back for the afternoon and see if we get anything better. That's what we were looking for at this one. That's what we were looking for. We were looking for that the H1 open short, but notice like, did ES take that low? ES take the low? Nope. So ES left 10 o'clock low intact. So did NQ. Let's back up into the range we go. Wreck the chasers. Yep. 4-8. Dang. Brutal. Brutal. Why couldn't have swept the 10 a.m. low and then given us this? Then we could have had a trade here. So you can probably watch. Yeah, there's gonna be either a 1 minute and a 30-second breaker sitting here. If we get this, I would be worried if I was short, but we'll see. It is very, very sus. If we go all the way back up to the high and get a 5-minute sweep and get the short, that makes the short that much better with all this sitting down here. Plus the SMT, or we go after SMTs after liquidity is delivered, so that'll make a very good target too. Yeah, for sure, Marshall. For sure. Like I said, unless you're in like just the original trade off of ES down, then yeah, like if you entered anywhere from 10:15 to now, I can't say I feel bad, but I know what you're going through right now. So see if we get a breaker here. See if we get a breaker after. This would have been what we were looking for a potential long. I don't even think I want to long this anymore now. Like this, So for me, like I said, it's either got to be one of the highs. So this 5-minute candle is still intact and it's still just previous hour high or a low. Do not get caught up inside of this mess. Save yourself. The breaker's in now, so this is your 1 minute unicorn. Not saying it's worth taking. I would not take this. But yeah, you got that low down there, and you're still just in shop, so you can just watch it. But you did put in a 5-minute swing here too, so we'll see if this breaker holds. Yeah, potentially there. This is. Criteria to draw a breaker is literally just it has to sweep a low and then close back above, or sweep a high and close back below. I mean, I don't think that's a bad inverse. I'm not an inverse trader though. I mean, it's a good move off of 50. I don't want to get involved in this chart. I don't think it's. I mean, it looks good. Like if you're talking from like a dodgy standpoint, I guess it might look good. I don't know if you really swept anything. You hit 50. You have a fair value get below. But easy game. It's kind of hard to show any. There's no good breakers inside of here. The best breaker to go back and look up is like the one we got up here today and the one we got yesterday. So like this 15-minute down candle swipes these lows, right? It swipes these lows. It swipes the high, and then we close back below. Just, again, I say it pretty much every day, but like just think of a breaker as an inverse order block. So for a bearish one, you want it to sweep a low, sweep a high, and then it basically fails. And then what that is a breaker is pretty much just a breaker structure essentially, right? Because this is your swing low. You put in this, and then you basically put in a failure swing up here, and then you break back down below. It's basically just your breaker structure. And then obviously a bullish one, you would look at this. Yeah, that's a clean breaker. Yeah, so that breaker, and then remember a breaker can be a series of candles too. So you have uh, so this breaker here from London, which pretty much told me that price was ready to move down after the sweep. Um, uh, the low gets swept, you sweep a high, you close back up below. Okay, all right, wizard. Yeah, it's basically a breaker is basically a Dave zone. To be completely honest, like I said, and you start looking at things like a Dave zone is a breaker or just an order block. So it's like, yeah, just what do you see it as personally? It's all it is. It's so funny when you see them all arguing who's got the better thing. Supply and demand is probably just an order block, or there's probably a lower time frame breaker in there. You know, a Dave zone is just an order block or a breaker. Oh, this is getting very uh, lackluster. But that unicorn held so far. The unicorn's holding. Unicorn is holding. So like, let's see. See, we're just the 5 minutes really failing to close like below any 5 minute candles down here. It's doing the same thing up here though too. For those who came in late, we were watching. If we go back to and draw and bring up our London, we had a kind of a gut feeling that price was ready to go higher. If you turn on this is your London, this is your London range, and if you look at your hourly candles here, you'll see how price was not giving any kind of close beneath there. So that's like usually your sign that even if we're going to go lower, that we should visit at least 50% of London and see if we respect it. But we're gonna make that. Are we gonna make that push finally, or are we just gonna slow down and chop again? I don't know. You want to get him? Well, if he goes inside and it stops, then I don't think it's an allergy. It's just my room. I don't know. All right, we're back. We're back. All right. Daycare called. Now it has made you mad. No. Yep, it could be. It could be. You have a nice like in terms of OLHC or your power of three of your hourly candle, you have a nice manipulation below the open here to put in an hourly wick, and then see if we get any kind of expansion here, or we're just gonna be an expansion up to negative 4 and then we just continue to chop. But to me, still no interest until either or. I need to see price close above the 10 a.m. high to think we're gonna have any kind of continuation, um, or see if we sweep. Other than that, hands are off the buy and sell buttons. So didn't get to watch much today, but if anything, you learned some what I think some good discipline, some good patience. My fib is just 1 second. Let me turn this off here. See if this helps. Turn this off. I just have the indicator, the indicator that marks the high and low. in the 10 o'clock open. But basically, I just fib out. You can just fib out the 10 a.m. low and the 10 a.m. high. How do I draw to get to a -4? I literally just look at the first 30-second candle of the day and then just fib it out. So 30-second candle, fib, 30-second opening range, and there you go. I need to turn these extra fibs don't matter. Don't pay attention to those. I was doing some back testing to see if there's anything relevant there. But yeah, so you'll see a -4 here. You can either draw it out yourself like that, but just draw the first 30-second candle and put a -4 on it, or you can use options indicator, key prices and levels right here, and then it's one of the options. It'll automatically plot it for you. What a CB down there on that 10 o'clock low though. No SMT, no nothing. Very dumb. That would have been great. That our long would have worked. That would have been a nice trade. Got 100 points there. Yep. Hopefully, Tom. Hopefully, we'll see what we get there. Yeah. So like I said, we got -4 sitting just above. Can we finally break out of this range? What up, Thanos? Long time no see. Nice. I'm sure it is. I cannot imagine what your mental is. Your mental's gotta be drained by now. You better go get some glucose or something in your blood. Gain it all back. Nice. All right, so yeah, there's the SMT. There's the SMT with ES. Question is NQ gonna step up a little higher into that civvy to a -4? There you go. Whiskey always helps. Unless you're Hidalgo in Trade Asia with a glass of whiskey. Don't recommend it. Right, Hidalgo? Interesting here, man. So we hit midnight now. I don't think we trigger -4. So 61.75. Oh my gosh. This would be our 30-second breaker off of the 5-minute if we get it here. What time are we at? 11:21. Yeah. I really don't want to see us get the breaker here. I really don't want to fade -4 being that close. I really do not. So I'm hoping this is just a failed breaker that I kind of showed you before, where we kind of we wick the low of the box or the high of the box, and then we just continue. So I'd like to see us hit -4. I know we haven't triggered it, but we're so damn close that. But there you go. You seen? I forgot to mention. While we were watching this 5-minute candle, kept that 5-minute bias the same throughout that entire hour, just for that high, and there we take it. Like I said, it's not always going to work out that way, but to me, it keeps a simple system to keep me out of trouble. Right, Casey? If we get this 30-second breaker, I'll try it, but I'm not sizing heavy just because of -4 there. I will not size heavy. Be like 2 micros. So I fully expect us to get up to a -4 here. And that 15-minute civvy. Granted, we are at 50, remember, we are still rejecting 50 of London, the order block, 50 of the whole swing. A lot going on here that could. I mean, we are rejecting midnight. Any kind of short would be, the targets would be this. I'll just be looking for 50% down, and basically 10 a.m. 50% would be target 1, and then the 10 o'clock low, and then any runners. Which if I only take 2 MAQ. Now if we get -4 and get some kind of short, it's got to happen quick, because we're sitting at 11:23. Not really. We're kind of getting out of distribution time here, which could tell me. And and then you're also fading. If you're taking a short up here at 11:25, 11:30, you're fading what the hourly candle's kind of telling you here, right? You already had open. You already had your manipulation lower. This should be distribution. So you're potentially fading your hourly distribution. Time and OHLC, candle development is not on your side based off of what time. But if we got it, I'll still try it. I'll still try it. But since like the TP would be so big, I mean you don't have to size too heavy here. If we got it, we just want to see us close below here. Well, it depends how this 5-minute candle closes. If it closes bullish, then then it's a no-brainer. We're going up to a -4. Last Thursday was too. Yep. Yeah, I was hoping today was, we would have a little more expansion to the downside, so we could target, those daily lows down here tomorrow. But it looks like we're gonna save those. It looks like it. Oh my gosh, are we gonna get this? Are we gonna get this? I think our 5-minute candle closed already. So our 5-minute close bearish. So we did get the 5-minute swing. If I'm looking to get short, this is where I want to, this is where I'm expecting price to start rejecting, right at the open of this candle or the close of this candle, right at the wick. Probably I don't have a breaker yet. I guess you could say this would be a breaker. Let's wait for this bigger candle here. So we'll see. Alright, I'm gonna enter this. Oh, I'm not logged in. Are you serious? Oh, I might miss it. I might miss it here. Oh, I'm logged in somewhere else. No, that's why. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Oh, I'm gonna miss it. No. God. No. Alright, so let's I'll wait. I'll see if we get a retest of it. Let's it might give you time to put it in some kind of limit order here. Top here, looking for 50%. If we hit 50, I'll take it off. Very small. Very small risk. Brutal. Remember, if we're bullish here, we're going to hold this 10 o'clock open, and then we're just going to rip back up through it, right? Because if we're bullish, we expect this 10 o'clock open to hold. Yeah, Mule, I think that's how you say your name. I don't. To me, it doesn't matter if that candle's bullish or not. It still swept the high and closed back inside, still showing weakness. Yeah, this is tough though. This is a tough short. I would not size heavy here. Do not size heavy. Because even if if it works, I mean your stops what? 20. Can't do math. Yeah, 23 points. 23 points, but we're looking for 40-ish, 45, and we're looking for that 10 o'clock low. So I think it's not bad to try it. Would be better off -4, but you're shorting into 5-minute CISD, the 11 o'clock open. But I don't think it's awful. And we have the SMT on that 10 o'clock high, and we got what I talked about. We got the 10 o'clock sweep of. We got the 5-minute sweep of 10 o'clock. This is model 5. This is model 5-1. Five o'clock sweeps, closes back inside. This one did not give a breaker. This 5-minute candle gave a breaker. So it looks like we're not gonna get an entry, but you guys got to see it play out. I was just not on the right chart. That is unfortunate. Wait all day and miss it. Did anybody else get in? Oh, it's brutal. All right, doggo. All right. You chase. All right. At least you're honest. You want to make sure you pay yourself at 50 though. Make sure you pay yourself at 50. If I was in it, yeah, I'd be rolling break even to at 50 Because if we're gonna hold anything, it's gonna be there. We're gonna miss the banger. Oh no. Oh, that's all right. All right, so I'm gonna close my order. I'm gonna go cry. All right. So if I'm watching this, I mean, I don't see anything to hold price here. There's no leftover. I guess there's a leftover Bissy. We'll see if we get any kind of little bounce out of here. We kept bouncing yesterday when we were moving down. We kept yeah, stakes. That's a perfect. If you look at yesterday, yesterday's looked just like this, right? Except we were obviously a little bit higher, but we kept bouncing from these last 1 minute Bissies in the leg, and they would send us up to like 50% of the move, and they made the short very very hard in the afternoon. But nice, Casey, nice. Well, I won't have the executions, but you guys got to see it all play out in a lifetime right there. Crazy we did not get up to a -4, at least to trigger it. Very interesting, but that's the power of midnight. Midnight, London 50. You just mark it in? Yeah, that's what I was going to do. I was just going to mark it in, because I have just 2 M&Qs, so I don't really care. But I was on. I don't know why it switched me over on my TradeAvate. I had my M&Q screen brought up for my for my accounts here. But all right, so I can't sit here and dwell the whole time. We have to start looking at, okay, what can we do next besides thinking about lunch? Um, so what I'll be looking for now is, how does this hourly candle close? If it closes like this, then I'm expecting further downside. Whether we close, if we close below it, then I'm expecting expansion off of 25%, 50% down to PDL, or I'm looking for some kind of short inside of this hourly candle. Maybe, if this candle closes in 29 minutes, there's not a clean, like, I want to see like a 5 minute. I guess you could, yeah, we got a little 5 minute breaker. We actually already got the 5 minute breaker. Let's see if we get a civvy here. Let's see if we get a 5 minute civvy. Guys, we're still just in chop, but we have a little more context now, at least. All right, so see if this turned into a 5 minute. This could turn into a 5 minute unicorn here. Basically, the unicorn would be, obviously, if this civvy forms. We might have a second chance at this. And we'll see about 50%. See if we get anything off of that 50. Oh, I know you won't do that, Dart. Man, that's brutal, though. That is tough. That is tough. But like I said, we're still. So it's like, can't sit here and dwell forever. You gotta be like, okay, look now. How can I How can I get myself back in this? See if we make a 5 minute. See if we've still got 2 minutes yet. See if this turns into a 5 minute civvy or a 5 minute BPR with the breaker here. With this breaker, I would expect this hourly high to be safe, but we'll see. We'll see if we make the civvy. So what I'll look for, and the other way I can enter this, I know we're still kind of in chop here, but now we have context with this hourly high. Our draw should absolutely be down here to these lows. So what I'll be looking for now is basically this same setup, this sweep and close in, but I'll be looking for the next 5 minute candle, which don't look like we're gonna get it, to do this. Wick up in here, close back below, and then I can look for like a lower time frame breaker, like this 30-second up inside of here, and then my stop can just go to this high instead of this high, and then I go back down. Like even if I was still short, and my stops were not at break even, if we go back up inside of here and when we make this and we make like a new 5 minute swing back down out of this 5 minute civvy, my stop would then go to above this high. That's how I trail my stops, with just following the 5 minute swing points, because I don't see price come back above, because then that means if you're closing back above a 5 minute swing point, you're likely making that 30-second or that 1 minute breaker back the other way, and you probably don't want to be in that position anymore anyway. Oh, I forget who that was. That was wild though. He was copying Dodgy, I think, to like almost verbatim. He had a beard or something on YouTube. I can't remember his name though. I think he's like a redhead dude. Redhead dude with a beard, I want to say. Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, I'm not sure about that one. Also, I like this 5 minute low. This is not a 5 minute swing point, right? We did not sweep this low. So I expect this, so kind of like how this high closed above here, I expect price to come back to this high. I expect price to come back down to this low. There's no 5 minute swing point here. Very rare you'll see price fully reverse without a swing point. Oh, maybe. All right, 5 minute BPR is closed. Let's see if we can stab above and close back down. That can allow us to get into a trade here. Alright, so this bullish candle means nothing to me. I'm still bearish on the 5 minute. So I'm only looking for shorts. Be better if we swept this high and gave us some kind of reaction out of that civvy. A-Trades, are you still in that? Are you still in it with the SMT? You did get the SMT. You got the SMT. It saved you. If you're still in. Assuming you're still in. Wow, what a dump. A 3 minute CISD. Yeah. Yep, that's what it was. Let's check our 30. It's our 30. We got a 30-minute swing now. So we got a 30-minute swing, we got a 15-minute swing, and we have a 5-minute swing. There's no way in hell I would be longing this. You have the 5 minute, the 15, the 30, and you're gonna have and you have a 5 minute breaker telling you that this hourly high should be safe. So no way would I be looking for any kind of long setups without this 10 o'clock low going. Just based off of that. The hourly, the 30, the 15, the 5, they're all speaking to you. They're all speaking to you right now. It is trash. It definitely is trash. But at least there's context up here now at least. We had it though. We had it. Looking for data lows? Oh, you took it? Discipline? Nice, nice. Yeah, if you took it, you should be up. I guess you should probably trim, but you should be up about 60 points by now. That's so unfortunate. Nice, Fran. Nice, nice. Yeah, that's a pretty bad cobalt. Very, pretty bad. For sure. For sure. It looks like a slow, ugly grind down. See those lows. I'll still take a short out of here. But And also because I closed back below 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock open at 11:25, so I would expect 11 o'clock open to also be resistance here. So I don't know if we get up there, but if we do, we'll still try it. Look at where we rejected. No, we rejected near a 60. I'm just giving you a hard time. I see it, doggo. I see it. I see it. I see it. Don't yell at me. Please don't yell at me. All right. Who all learned something today? Who all learned something today? That's the most important thing. Who all can take something away from today? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. I don't care about the profits. I don't care about your executions. I don't care about any of that. Just here to share everything all the hours I've spent back testing, trading, all that. Just here to share it. Appreciate you guys hanging out, but it doesn't look like we're going to probably get anything. Learned Ender. Nice, Mike. Nice. It's good to hear. Yep. All right, we'll hang out another 5 minutes or so, see if we get any kind of move. But this looks like there's nothing I want to be a part of. Maybe it's a blessing that I didn't get in this because this could be a long hold, a long annoying hold. You should still get delivery down here. It's just how annoying is it going to be? Yeah, maybe. Could be. Appreciate it, Mike. Yep, exactly. Yep. You guys can look for this on every asset. You can look for this, but again, do not trade it mechanically. Do not be like, oh, we got a 5 minute swing. We're going to 50. We're going to the previous hour low. You will get wrecked. I promise you will get wrecked. Have some context behind it. Like this, we had context. We're at 50 of London. We have the SMT. We're at 50 of London. We're at we just rejected off of midnight. Like there's context for this to reject and come back lower. And remember, if you're taking this in the hourly close bullish, just remember that you should only be looking for 25 and then 50, because if we have a bullish hourly, we could be looking at the continuation model off of 25. So you want to make sure you pay yourself at 25. But do a quick check of gold. Gold might have had the same model here. Let's see. This was previous hour low. And I would already be expecting longs on gold because we still got this open high up here. Granted, you did sweep liquidity, but look at gold. Look at that shit. 10 o'clock low, sweep, close, off to 50 she goes. All right. Let's see. Was there a clean breaker in there? Oh yeah. I don't know what you would consider. Probably maybe this down candle, but somewhere in here. You're just looking at that. It's basically your breaker structure, and there you go. Shared that a little more in depth today. That's for sure. Person looking for a bigger move. Yeah, I mean, we. I don't keep saying, because I don't want to jinx it for the ones that are so short. It's still decent day. Decent day. Obviously, I caught a bunch of the London move, but unfortunately, for anybody that didn't, yeah, it's probably tough sledding here in New York. still a chance to learn, still a chance to, if anything, you learned discipline and you learned just how to avoid chop. Like just for me, like I said, this 5 minute candle closing bullish saved me from all of this. And then you see we finally take one side of it, and then I can engage, which I guess I can't engage because I'm too slow. But yeah, it sure is. Discipline's very, very powerful. 25 is very, very good for the expansion candles. All right, so this will be interesting if this 4 hour closes very bearish, like even like this or lower. If you get a close like this, what are we looking for at 2 o'clock? We're going on to our 15-minute chart, and we're going to look for this 15-minute breaker to form here. Basically, if we get a 15-minute candle close below 10 a.m., this high is good, and you should just see continuation. That should absolutely confirm everything for you that we should draw down to PDL, whether it's tonight or tomorrow. But that should be your confirmation. Is that 15-minute breaker off of the 4-hour swing, which you're pretty much already getting with the hourly swing because you've got the 5-minute breaker right here, which is where price is just rejecting. It's not even letting us get up to that unicorn. But night. So that's the big thing. Okay, let me. There's your 10 o'clock low. Well, would have had a snipe. But basically, BMAC. If the 4-hour closes like this, a sweep closes back below here. I'm looking at a breaker inside of here to hold price, a 15-minute breaker to then send price lower at 2 o'clock. So I'll be looking for potentially like I don't know. Looks like we just got the breaker. Yeah, we just got it. So I would say this high is safe. I would not want to see price back above here now. Not one bit. Nice, Casey. Nice. So now we get that breaker. I would expect this high to hold. I would expect this to be the New York high, and this to continue down here, based off the 1 hour and the 5-minute. But if you've seen anything here, you've seen the 1 hour was starting. The 1 hour hasn't given you a sweep yet, but it gave you a breaker. If it's giving you a breaker, this high is likely safe. And then and then you go to the 30-minute. You have a 30-minute swing already in here. If you want to use a 30-minute chart, you can then go look for a 3-minute breaker or a 3-minute CISD to get short. But the biggest thing here is not just looking at that. Pay attention when you have time alignment. It is you could just like yesterday we talked about double sweeps being like just your model. You could wait until you have hourly time, the hourly, the 30, the 15, and maybe the 5 all aligned together. And then you only trade when that happens, and I guarantee you're gonna have an insane win rate. I guarantee it. If you just wait for all those times to align, and it's not even something that you can say is like bull crap or wrong, because if you are taking trades when you have all 4 of those aligned together, and likely if the hourly's good, then you're likely on the 4-hour side too. So you have all those times aligned. If you take a loss, that's not going to happen very often when all those swings are all aligned. You know, it's just one powerful. It's a powerful wall. It's the direction that you want to trade. So if you like are stuck on like needing like a model or something like this, and not just like a swing and a breaker, and you have the patience to wait to make sure everything is aligned, go back test and look when the 15 to 30 and the hourly align, and look how many times that leads to a big retracement. So huge. So that was another like kind of thing where it's like, okay, well, we're getting that, and then obviously with the breaker confirmed, you know, with the hourly, and then down we go. Does that make sense? Like you don't need it. It just makes it that much better. Maybe you size up when you see it, or you just have that much more confidence in your trade playing out. But you don't need it. But you guys seen like try to take the straight. It was just too slow. Do a quick recap. Just looking at the 10 o'clock high. We waited for this candle high or low to get swept. We hit up. We know we missed midnight by a tick. Came back up. We hit midnight. We talked about this prior to it happening. We're getting a 5-minute sweep into close, and then just looking for a 30-second breaker inside of there to get short to take it down. And like I said, you might think it's a we just got this huge ass pump. You're like, this dude wants to short. Well, the 5-minute, the 15, at least the 5-minute and the 15 at that time were aligned. So I already had good things going for me. And then I get the 30-second breaker down. So the good thing about this is like KC was saying, it's more of an RR play. You don't have to hit every single one of these, but when you have everything aligned, you're going to hit most of these. And your low-hanging fruit target's usually 50%. If you're a deviation dude, you could probably draw out, you could draw out -1 of this swing and just go for -1, and then maybe a runner to the hourly low, or you can target whatever you want. But 50% is always going to be a sweet target, especially when you have a clear dealing range like you do here. But it's basically just an RR play. So you're sitting one here, and I would have had a runner for that 10 o'clock low. And you're looking at it's not necessarily a 4-hour trade because you're trimming here. So people will be like, I caught 160 points today, but they trimmed most of their position off it at halfway down. You didn't catch 192 points. You caught about half for that in terms of profit. But that doesn't matter anyway, right? We're just talking about entering and executing trades here. But yeah. So it's just more of an RR play, but like you have everything aligned. Why not take a chance? Timing was a little wonky here. This was a little late into the hour, but it happens. It just turned out. It's a very tricky here though, because you did have what looked like our hourly distribution going up because you had a nice manipulation leg down here for that hourly to put in like an hourly wick and a distribution. So that was a little tricky. Can't lie about that, but. Anybody have any questions? Hopefully that answers. Let me look at. So I look at the daily, the 4-hour. I usually just like to look it just depends. So I look at the daily and the 4-hour to kind of get a sense of my higher time frame bias, and then so if my 4-hour is bearish, I'm looking for some kind of hourly sweep on the high for the hourly, and then I'm looking for an hourly swing with a 5-minute breaker. And then maybe go down to like a 5-minute, 30-second for like a little refined entry off of that or something. But yeah, basically. But it's a beautiful trade, KC. I'm glad you held that. That is awesome. But so at least you guys had to see that play out. But it just shows like I know I missed it, so it's not really an alert. But not that it really matters, right? We're here to learn. But it just shows we sat through all of this, knowing that we would have a good trade eventually show up over here, and then you get a banger all the way back down to the lows. Just shows patience, and yeah, you'll go far. I promise you. Just if you guys didn't watch Rip's video, I know a lot of people don't like Rips, but I posted on my X page his discipline video that he posted I think last Thursday. Go watch it. It's pretty damn good. Yeah, I'm very surprised we didn't hit a -4. That was the one sketchy thing here, but in terms of RR, I mean. Fire away. So what would I have done if this held and then we went to a -4? I would have re-entered it if we got this same setup. If we got this same setup, like a 5-minute sweep of -4, 5-minute close inside the previous, and then we get another 30-second breaker down, I would have shorted this again, no doubt. But we didn't get it. Let me see. I'll just post it. See if this works.
So I want you to be conscious of.
Oh, that's not it. Can I just copy the link? Holy cow! There it is. All right. There you go. Go watch that. And I'll leave you guys with that. Unless anybody has any questions, we'll probably see. We'll probably be back tomorrow. Why not? Love streaming. Love hanging out. It actually helps me. It actually helps me like actually talking through it out loud too. So. Nobody likes to trade alone. I guess unless your options. He likes to trade alone. But all right. So real quick before I end off, let's see where -4 is down below. Oh, -4 is up is -4 is a PDL number. So makes sense that maybe imagine we CB -4 up there, which I think we do. I think 10 a.m. high is safe. I'd be surprised if we go back and we take that 10 o'clock high again. But with that, guys, signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you caught that banger, nice. Sad I missed it, but all right, guys. We will catch y'all tomorrow or Friday. But with that, peace out.